Unbeknownst to most Americans, the President of the United States recently issued an urgent directive to the top officials of our country, Presidential Memorandum 02518. Now, in a moment, I'll introduce you to the only financial expert I know of who understands its significance. As a word of warning, what you are about to see is controversial. President Trump revokes not just one, but two of Obama's initiatives in order to enforce this new directive, for good reason. The president has declared that America must be first in a new technology called Spectrum. According to the World Economic Forum, this very technology will be as revolutionary as electricity or the automobile, benefiting entire economies and entire societies. It could save about 2 million lives each year, and it will create 22 million jobs, which is why the president doesn't want China, Russia, or any other country to roll out this technology first. Because, as he says right here, this new Spectrum technology will, quote, unleash innovation, and there will be insatiable demand for it. You see, Spectrum isn't just another technology. It is the technology that will help birth every other technology, ones we've barely begun to utilize, like self-driving cars, intelligent factory robots, remote surgery, smart homes, and automated delivery by drones. Spectrum will be the foundation of all of it. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. As the president states, Spectrum is essential to the future of America's military, to the future of our country's agriculture and farming businesses, and to the future successes of the NASA space program. Which is why President Trump isn't wasting a minute. In Section 5 of Memorandum 02518, he establishes a Spectrum Strategy Task Force and orders top U.S. officials to report within 180 days. Our president knows the rollout of Spectrum will give the U.S. economy a huge boost. It could be the driving force that propels the stock market to record highs. In a moment, you'll be able to see the full memorandum for yourself. For now, it's important for you to understand that never before in history has the President of the United States issued such a memorandum. Never before has so much time and effort been dedicated to one technology. Never before has so much been on the line. And then again, there's never been a technology as important to our nation's future as Spectrum. And those who take decisive action before it rolls out from coast to coast could make a lifetime's worth of gains in a matter of months. In fact, early investors will get the chance to book the closest thing to government-approved gains the expert you're about to meet has ever seen. Consider this. When President Trump spoke out in support of the coal industry, NACCO Industries stock surged 223%. When Trump pushed for energy dominance in the U.S., Jones Energy shot up 320%. When Trump proposed an increase in defense spending, AeroVironment jumped 379%. When Trump encouraged the legalization of marijuana, CV Sciences leapt 1,031%. When he said he wanted to expand our nuclear energy sector, U.S. nuclear corporations skyrocketed 1,640%. It's happened time and again, but this time, President Trump isn't merely suggesting, proposing, or encouraging that America be first in Spectrum technology. No, this time he issued an official presidential memorandum to ensure this gets done fast. He wants to see progress in 180 days. When complete, this technology, Spectrum, will unleash a $12 trillion wave of wealth. Yes, $12 trillion. It will be 2,400 times bigger than blockchain, 400 times bigger than the global big data market, and double the size of artificial intelligence. That's why Wall Street heavyweights are pumping billions into Spectrum-forward companies. Morgan Stanley has committed $9.7 billion. Berkshire Hathaway has piled in $45 billion. And the Vanguard Group is going in big with $95 billion. Now, the media is starting to catch on. Fox News announced Spectrum is about to sweep the world. Forbes says it will revolutionize America, driving new services and industries for investors. This is a huge opportunity. And Bloomberg confirms that this government-mandated technology will transform the way we live and work, and add trillions of dollars to the global economy every year. In this presentation, you will discover exactly what spectrum technology is, why it is essential for the future of every other technology, and details on the #1 company you can invest in today for less than $10 a share, so you can position yourself for massive profits before spectrum goes mainstream. It's an overlooked company at the forefront of it all, trading under a code name that could soar up to 300% in the next 12 months alone. First, I'd like to introduce you to the world-renowned trader and former hedge fund manager who discovered the small company that holds the key to unlocking spectrum technology, and he will shed light on this urgent presidential memorandum. His name is Ian King. He has worked for some of Wall Street's biggest banks, Salomon Brothers, Citigroup, and Merrill Lynch, trading everything from derivatives to options to stocks. He was there on the ground floor when mortgage-backed securities were created, and he knew they would lead to a disaster. So Ian left the big banks to launch his own hedge fund. In 2007, he began making strategic investments against Citigroup, Merrill Lynch, Lehman Brothers, and Goldman Sachs, the very institutions he once worked for. The result? His investors saw 1,721% gains during the worst 16 months of the financial crisis. That means they were able to turn every $100,000 invested into $1.7 million. Now, once word got out about the results, major media outlets like Fox Business News, Yahoo Finance, and other networks sought him out. He's traveled the world giving presentations on such topics as financial technology, options trading, and investing in stocks. But at the age of just 35, tired of the demanding work schedule and even more demanding millionaire clients, Ian walked away from Wall Street altogether. Today, he resides in sunny South Florida. He spends his time surfing in Costa Rica, diving in Bali, and funding nonprofits in impoverished areas of Pakistan and India. But his passion is uncovering under-the-radar companies, like when he saw the potential in Immunomedics Inc. before it shot up as much as 401%, Medifast before it skyrocketed to a peak of 487%, and Tesla before it shot up as much as 1,230%. In 2013, he saw the enormous opportunity in Bitcoin when it was still an idea thrown around on obscure internet forums. And in the past 6 years, it has delivered as much as 141,647% in returns. He's backed private ventures, including a clean energy company and an electric car startup years before Elon Musk was a household name. That one sold for $149 million. It's not surprising that Ian is known as a visionary with an uncanny ability to identify technological breakthroughs before they actually break through, which explains why Ian is so excited about the opportunity for investors that he's uncovered in Memorandum 02518. You see, thanks to the President's orders, starting within 180 days, spectrum technology will go from concept to reality, unleashing a $12 trillion industry. Again, there's a small California-based company at the forefront of it all. And even though it trades under a code name, you can easily buy shares for under $10 through any online brokerage account. With the click of a few buttons, you could own this stock today. Then you could sit back and watch as shares soar 300% or more in the next year, and there's no telling how high they could go from there. Imagine what you could do with gains like that. You could use your newfound wealth to buy your dream home, take an exotic vacation, or even drive that luxury sports car you've always wanted. As Ian will show you, you won't have to imagine these scenarios for much longer. They could soon be your reality. And on that note, here's Ian.
Thanks, Jeff. My name is Ian King. I'm the Senior Research Analyst at Banyan Hill Publishing, an investment research firm located in Palm Beach, Florida. I've known about spectrum's potential since NASA first started to develop this technology years ago. And that's why I'm certain that Presidential Memorandum 02518 will help ignite the biggest investment opportunity in decades and will soon help some Americans make massive profits. You see, while the world is experiencing a technological renaissance, There's artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, blockchain, self-driving cars, robotics, big data, all starting to break through. However, there's a dirty little secret that could prevent every one of these technologies from ever going mainstream, and no one is talking about it. It's a secret that President Trump knows, and it's likely why he quietly issued Memorandum 02518. There are over 325 million new devices connecting to the internet each month. By next year, experts expect it will be over 50 billion devices. That includes each light bulb, thermostat, appliance, and electronic product you own. The problem is, our current mobile 4G network was not designed to handle this type of volume. The Wall Street Journal reports we're on the cusp of an unprecedented explosion in the number of devices coming online. Billions of smart home sensors, industrial devices, and artificially intelligent computers. The systems we have now simply weren't built to handle the sheer volume. That's why artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, blockchain, self-driving cars, robotics, and big data have not gone mainstream yet. And it's also why the race is on to replace our current 4G network with spectrum technology. In short, the internet will come to a screeching halt and possibly shut down for good if spectrum is not deployed immediately. Now let me explain. Picture the internet as a highway, and the 4G network that we are currently using has just one lane of traffic on this highway. With 325 million devices coming online every month, this one lane is becoming too crowded, slowing down, and becoming a major traffic jam. But the secret to unclogging this traffic jam, so all the cars can travel at full speed, is spectrum. The technology many experts call 5G spectrum, or simply just 5G. 5G is the key to all future technologies, which is exactly why President Trump's directive states, it is imperative that America be first in fifth-generation wireless technologies. Wireless technologies capable of meeting the high-capacity, low-latency, and high-speed requirements that can unleash innovation broadly across diverse sectors of the economy and the public sector. The 5G superhighway won't have just one slow, measly lane, it will have 50. But in terms of speed, 4G is like traveling by bus across the country versus racing across the sky in a supersonic F-104 starfighter with 5G spectrum. Information will be transmitted 400 times faster than the blink of an eye. People, machines, cars, phones, security systems, robots will all connect instantaneously. This split-second mega bandwidth network opens the doors to exciting new things we've never done before. Doctors can't perform remote robotic surgery over a slow or faulty connection. But with 5G, a surgical oncologist at Sloan Kettering in New York will be able to perform delicate, life-saving surgery to remove a tumor on a patient in Alaska. Driverless cars can't stop on a dime if there's a lag in the data they're sending and receiving. That won't be an issue with 5G. A car could automatically stop short when a deer runs in the road, without the driver even looking up. Virtual reality can't reach its potential if glitches are interrupting the simulations every few seconds. But in the very near future, thanks to 5G, a grandfather can virtually visit his grandchildren who live in another state without leaving his living room. The possibilities are endless. And these are just a few of the technologies already in the works. There's so much we haven't even thought of yet. The Ubers, the Airbnbs, the Netflixes of the world came about because of 4G. According to the former commissioner of the FCC, the Ubers, the Airbnbs, the Netflixes of the world came about because of 4G. What's exciting about 5G is that nobody can really fathom what's going to happen, end quote. One thing pretty much everyone agrees on, 5G spectrum is going to change the way we do everything. And I mean everything, from emergency services to banking to manufacturing, energy, transportation, gaming and entertainment, and so much more. The Hill agrees. It promises to open the world for smart cities, driverless cars, improved healthcare, and a fully realized Internet of Things that will revolutionize entire industries. Investors Business Daily reports, the 5G network upgrade will eventually affect almost every aspect of business. The Washington Post also confirms that 5G is expected to alter the very DNA of our user experience in dramatic, exciting ways, from leisure to healthcare to retail to manufacturing to finance and beyond. But this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is unfolding very, very quickly. The big players are already moving in. AT&T announced it would spend as much as $25 billion on 5G technology in 1 year alone. Verizon is expected to pour $18 billion into development. Sprint says it's investing another $5 billion. And those plans were all in place before our president declared American companies must step up their efforts. The pressure is really on now. This $12 trillion wealth grab is about to blow wide open. Remember, President Trump demanded that he seize serious action in 180 days. Now, following Presidential Memorandum 02518, Deputy UF Chief Technology Officer Michael Kratsios immediately told President Trump, America will win the global race to 5G. And as a result, NBC News reported access to 5G is expected to expand dramatically this year. So you must make your move now if you hope to stake your claim for extraordinary profits. And I do mean extraordinary. In just a few minutes, I want to reveal to you the inconspicuous company that could return triple-digit gains in the next 12 months. I also want to tell you the surprising reason practically no one has heard of it. But first, let's take a quick look at the fortunes made leading up to 5G. The road to this fifth generation of wireless technology has been littered with one opportunity after another for investors to make an absolute killing. First, in the 1980s, there was the 1G network created by AT&T. Smart investors who saw the potential were able to ride AT&T stock for gains of 407% over time. And I'm sure you recall Motorola's famous brick mobile phones, which were released to access this 1G network. Motorola's stock jumped 844% over the same time period. Next came 2G in the early 90s, which provided data services, allowing for text messaging. This was a huge breakthrough at the time. So it's not surprising that when Sprint launched the first 2G network, it unleashed a tidal wave of profits as its shares soared 456%. But that's nothing compared to Ericsson, another 2G provider that skyrocketed a meteoric 3,127%. Of course, gains like this aren't easy to find, and they typically take some time to go up by triple and quadruple digits. But here's yet another example for you. 2001 saw the rollout of 3G. It was a faster, more secure network, allowing for the rise of the smartphone. Qualcomm made the chipsets needed for the 3G network, and look what happened to its stock. It surged 302%. In 2009, 4G came along. This is the network we still use to this day. In fact, if you look at your phone, you'll likely see 4G LTE in the upper corner. Crown Castle, a 4G infrastructure play, could have made you 667% gains over time. This has happened 4 times in the last 30 years. A new generation of cellular network technology launches approximately every 10 years. And 4G started 1 decade ago. It couldn't be any more obvious. 5G's moment has arrived. The market is about to surge over 22,000% to $12 trillion and make early investors extremely wealthy. Now, President Trump's memo sparked it. The mobile cycle confirms it. Which brings me to my next point, something I need to make perfectly clear. I'm afraid I may be giving you the wrong impression with the examples I just showed you of previous gains. These comparisons aren't putting this newest opportunity in its proper perspective, not by a long shot. For one thing, the president is demanding a quick and efficient rollout of this technology. America first, 5G first. That's the administration's official statement. When statements like this come from Washington, investors can see super fast gains. For example, 379% rallies in the defense industry, 1,000% gains in marijuana, and over 1,600% in the nuclear energy market. On top of that, 5G is a lot more than just the next G on the path of mobile technology. It's not about how fast you can download a movie to your phone, although that will clock in at an impressive 6 seconds, a vast improvement over the current average of 7 minutes. In fact, if you're thinking about phones at all, you're thinking way too small. Tens of billions of devices will rely on 5G to function. PCs, televisions, cars, airplanes, industrial and surgical robots, refrigerators. That barely even scratches the surface. And I discovered the one small firm which you can still buy for less than $10 a share, standing smack dab in the middle of this $12 trillion 5G revolution. It's not a household name, it's not an easy company to find, and as I mentioned earlier, these days it's trading under something of a code name, and it's definitely not an obvious play like AT&T or Qualcomm or Verizon. Of course, if you want to invest in one of those companies today, I wouldn't say that's a bad idea. You'll probably make a nice little profit. However, I prefer recommending smaller companies that are well positioned for phenomenal growth. And this San Diego-based firm is tiny. Its market cap is less than $400 million, which means the upside here is practically unlimited. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it jumped 300% in just the next 12 months. In fact, this little tech pioneer just might be Wall Street's best kept secret, because it's already making 5G a reality. Right now, a handful of Americans are experiencing the network of the future that is bringing to life all kinds of possibilities. Thanks to the 5G routers and hotspots this company makes. There's no need to lay expensive fiber. There's no need to wait for new cell towers to be built or any major infrastructure to be put in place. You simply fire up your new 5G router and boom. Tablets and security cameras connect at lightning speed, transmitting data almost instantaneously. Smart homes, smart cities. The future has arrived because of these small white cylinders. This company partnered with the largest telecom giant in the US to bring 5G to preferred areas in 4 major markets: Houston, Indianapolis, Los Angeles, and Sacramento. It is the first commercially available 5G network. But this is only the beginning, because plans are in motion for these routers to be placed in 30 million US households. That's an increase in reach of about 9,900%. And when an undiscovered company like this one is an early mover in an up-and-coming market, the gains can be life-changing. Like when eBay was at the forefront of online auctions. Early investors saw gains of over 3,800%, turning $5,000 into $194,000 in the long run. And when Microsoft brought personal computing to the masses, if you'd gotten in early, you could have seen about a 122,500% return today. That's enough to turn $5,000 into a whopping $6.1 million. And this time will be no different. Make no mistake, fortunes will be made. Some investors can make tens of thousands from this one company, others millions. Some could even make tens of millions. Of course, nothing in the financial markets is guaranteed, so I never recommend investing more than you can afford to lose. That being said, while small companies like this come with risk, they also offer the biggest growth potential, and the potential here really is undeniable. I'm not the only one who sees it. BlackRock, JP Morgan Chase, and Deutsche Bank, to name just a few, have all quietly started scooping up shares because they recognize the extraordinary opportunity here as I do. Imagine a Columbia University doctor performing hands-on therapy for a patient in Hawaii without leaving the comfort of his Manhattan-based office. Well, you don't have to imagine it anymore, because this company just demonstrated this exact scenario in front of an audience using its 5G technology. Or imagine a robot pouring you a cup of coffee in the morning. Amazingly, an actual robot did just that for a group of people, powered by this tiny little firm's 5G technology. I mean, that's crazy stuff, right? It sounds like something you'd see in a science fiction movie, maybe Star Trek or something. But I'm talking about a very real and very current technology. And you can trace it all back to this little-known California company. Its pipeline is exploding with new profitable ventures. This firm has partnerships in place with 50 of the world's biggest telecom service providers and other leading businesses like Uber, Barclays, DHL, Ericsson, and General Dynamics, to name just a few. In total, this tiny 5G pioneer holds over 1,400 groundbreaking patents, like the mobile 5G hotspot it's launching with one of the biggest telecom giants this year, and the gateways and modems it makes that are necessary for the next generation of wireless networks. This 5G revolution is already underway and about to impact every aspect of modern society. And this tech firm is standing at the front of the line, poised to hand early investors massive gains. That's why I put together a special report about this situation, and I'd like to get it in your hands as soon as possible. It's called The $5 Stock Leading the 5G Revolution. I'll give it to you free at the end of this presentation. You'll get a full, detailed analysis on this little company on the verge of dominating the $12 trillion 5G boom, including its code name, ticker symbol, and the target buy price, to put you on the road to making an absolute fortune. This is one opportunity you don't want to miss. Listen, I've seen similar setups before, like when I identified Apple just before practically everyone had an iPhone in their pocket. Since then, shares have continued to soar as much as 358%. And while I'm sure you'd be happy with a 358% gain, I'm confident this opportunity will put that to shame. Thanks to Presidential Memorandum 02518, 5G's reach is about to go exponential. It will soon soar 22,540% to become a $12 trillion market. Even if this overlooked firm only captures a fraction of this market, you could still capture massive gains. As of right now, you can get in for under $10 a share, but I don't expect to be trading here for long. This fast-moving shift to 5G is already underway, and the time to take decisive action is now. Again, my report is called The $5 Stock Leading the 5G Revolution. In about 2 minutes, I'll show you how to claim your free copy. But first, it's important for you to know how I can be so certain about this opportunity. Just like I was so sure of Apple before it soared 358%, Immunomedics before it soared 401%, and USA Technologies before it soared 539%. I'm sharing these examples with you because I want to prove an important point. The simplest way to make a lifetime worth of gains faster than you ever thought possible is to invest in a company with a looming catalyst. The catalyst is the key. Without it, an innovation can linger in development and never make it to the mainstream. And there is no better catalyst than the full backing and support of the US government. It's like when I first uncovered Stryker Corp. It was a forgettable medical device company, just sort of humming along for years. But all that changed. Its catalyst was an FDA approval. This government agency granted Stryker clearance for its revolutionary hip device. It's the next generation of hip replacement, fewer dislocations, which was a common and dangerous complication, less friction, less wear, more comfort, and better mobility. After the government gave its stamp of approval, these type of hip revisions became the gold standard, according to leading health journal International Orthopedics, and Stryker's stock took off. Some investors were able to capture 206% gains, enough to turn $5,000 into a respectable $15,300. Of course, that's just a small example. Hip replacements are nothing compared to the $12 trillion 5G boom that will mint a new class of millionaires. But let me give you another quick example. Let's look at Amazon, a company that's still leading the charge in e-commerce. So what was the catalyst that sent online shopping soaring? You might be surprised. The United States Patent and Trademark Office issued U.S. Patent 5960411, a patent that just might be the most important one ever issued to anyone who conducts business online. It's the patent that allowed something we take for granted today, one-click ordering. According to one Wharton School of Business Technology professor, one-click technology will be remembered as a very important event in the history of e-commerce. Not only did it help eliminate shopping cart abandonment, but it also made shopping from a smartphone simple. In short, it changed online shopping and helped ignite Amazon's ascent. Shares have since returned an astounding 2,417%. That means a $5,000 investment transformed into a $125,000 windfall. Let me give you one last example. When I recognized the opportunity in Tesla, electric cars had been around for decades. They just never really took off. But that all changed in 2011. The catalyst? President Obama's State of the Union address. He pledged his support to hybrid and electric vehicles at the beginning of that year. Shares soared as much as 1,230% since Obama's declaration. That means every $5,000 stake for some investors turned into a $61,000 jackpot. As you can see, the U.S. government has a history of triggering enormous profits. But this time we aren't talking about an announcement, an approval, or even a pledge. President Trump just handed investors an enormous gift with his recent official White House memorandum. It's easily one of the most powerful catalysts I've encountered in my 20 years in the business, and it's about to send this small corner of the tech market soaring more than 22,540%. The fact is, the president recognizes, as I do, that 5G spectrum is without a doubt the most important technological advancement in a lifetime. And he's not wasting any time. That's why I want to send you the $5 stock leading the 5G revolution. I want to get you a free copy of this report in your hands with all the details on the company I've been telling you about. But this is just the tip of the iceberg of everything I want to share with you today. Now, I know you may be wondering why I'm even doing this. I retired from Wall Street, so why not just enjoy the South Florida sun? To understand, it's important you know a little bit more about me. Years ago, I recognized the recipe for success was spotting tech trends long before everyone else. I could see that search technology was still in the early phase of development and that Google was extremely underpriced before the stock soared 385%. I could see opportunities in biotech before Immunomedics stock soared 401%. I saw massive opportunities in electric vehicles before Tesla's stock soared 1,230%. I even invested in an electric car startup that eventually sold for $149 million. Now, I'm not sharing all this to gloat. I just want to prove to you that I have the ability to spot major technological revolutions before they emerge. Yet, I wouldn't be talking with you today, and none of these gains would have been possible if it weren't for my mentor, Walter. You see, when I first started trading, I have to admit I wasn't especially good at it. Okay, I was pretty bad. I started at a small firm with $25,000 in my trading account, and within 3 months I lost every penny. Walter was the guy who ran the fund at the time, and this guy was larger than life. Instead of hanging me out to dry, he put another $10,000 in my account and gave me some key lessons. I guess you could say he sort of took me under his wing. And well, after many years of hard work, some major wins and some losses too, I encountered incredible success. And thanks to Walter's insight, I made my mark on Wall Street at a young age, walked away at 35, and moved close to the beach, just like I always wanted. And now, it's my turn to give back. I want to help you the same way Walter helped me, so that you can experience the same success in the markets that I've enjoyed. I want to share my skill set, the same strategies I use to rake in huge gains year in and year out with you, which is why today I'm extending a special invitation. I put in my time at the big banks, I managed a hedge fund, I spent years helping the rich get even richer. But these days, I'm working on a new project to help Main Street folks like you using the same skills I discovered as a Wall Street insider. Let me read you a few emails that I've received. Here's one from Helen Jeffries, who said, "I'm a 61-year-old widow. Thank you so much. I know you can help me with my retirement fund." And I have one from Ben Carlton, who told me, "Thank you for your thorough coverage. I look forward to participating in this great adventure as you coach us along in the coming months." And this is from Tom Barnes, who said, "I'm up 29% in under a month. Cheers to you and your team." It's letters like these that make what I do now worth it. And that's why today, I'm excited to invite you to join me in my latest, most groundbreaking venture yet. It's a unique advisory research service called Automatic Fortunes. This research service gives you a peek behind the curtain to gain access to my top money-making ideas each month. These are picks I reserve just for my elite circle of subscribers. Now don't worry, you don't need any kind of special training, you really don't even need to know much about stocks, and you don't need much money to get started. All you need is to be open to new ideas, have a passion for making money, and the desire to learn how to become a better, smarter investor. If this sounds like you, then you're going to love the investment opportunities I reveal each month in the pages of Automatic Fortunes. Like when I saw the potential in companies like Expedia, which went on to soar 201%, iRobot, which then went on a 334% tear, Flowtech Industries, which jumped 329%, and USA Technologies, which went on to gain 539%. I'm telling you this because I want you to understand that when it comes to solid investment advice, it's critical you're getting your analysis from the right person. Do you remember when the supposed experts were saying that Amazon stock was on the verge of a colossal breakdown, that Tesla's business plan was riding on fumes, and were giving us 3 reasons to sell Google? I saw the potential in each of these companies before they rocketed 358%, 401%, and 1,230%. Unfortunately, a lot of people missed out on those gains, but I knew it was coming. I've been in the business for over 20 years now. I've seen bull markets, bear markets, the tech boom and bust, the mortgage meltdown, and everything in between. The good news for you is I've never seen an opportunity with as much potential as the $12 trillion boom that Trump just ignited. This opportunity could hand you 300% gains in just the next year, and there's no telling how high it could go beyond that. And as a subscriber to Automatic Fortunes, you could continue to rack up these kinds of profits regularly. You'll get alerts each time I uncover a new trade opportunity. I'll also send weekly updates directly to your email inbox. Actually, let me just give you the full rundown of everything you'll receive when you join today. Detailed monthly briefings. Each month, you'll receive an 8-page newsletter that provides detailed analysis on my newest recommendation. You'll discover disruptive companies at the forefront of major trends, set to hand early investors a fortune. I'll reach out to my contacts, C-level executives, my Wall Street colleagues, and industry insiders. I dig through SEC filings, study charts, and evaluate fundamentals. All so I can deliver the best and most profitable research to help you exceed all of your financial goals. You'll also receive access to my model portfolio. You get all of the stocks on my buy list, usually 1 stock each month. These are recommendations that are poised for takeoff and about to deliver big, fast gains. The portfolio will show you what to buy, at what price to buy it, and when to sell it. As a member, you'll also get weekly updates. Each week, I'll email you with important information regarding our current recommendations. This way, you're never left guessing. expect a brief video webinar where I'll also address current market conditions, dip into the reader mailbag, and more. I'll also send you urgent trade alerts. If you've invested in stocks at all, you know how important timing is. It's a crucial part of my strategy. When that perfect catalyst hits, there's only a small window of opportunity to pull the trigger for the biggest gains. So when I spot a trade, I'll let you know as soon as possible via email, or when it's time to take our profits, I'll let you know that right away too. You will receive password-protected access to the members-only website. You can find all of my latest updates and information anytime you want, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on the encrypted website portal. This includes my model portfolio, an archive of past issues, and my weekly video updates. Basically, you'll have everything you need to put your membership into action right at your fingertips. And you'll always have access to my dedicated customer care team. If you ever have a question about your membership, my Maryland-based customer care team is ready to take your call. They'll guide you through whatever you need. Bottom line, accept this invitation now and you'll get all of this. Unfettered access to me and all of my greatest wealth generating tools. Starting minutes from now, you could begin booking winner after winner like these stock market gems I uncovered. Apple, which went on to as much as 358% gains. Immunomedics Corp, which is up 401% for some investors, and Amazon, which then went as high as 720%. I admit I've had tremendous success identifying game-changing companies before they took off, and I'm proud of that. But I firmly believe that is nothing compared to the types of gains the coming months will bring. But if you're interested in scoring these kinds of winners, fair warning, I must hear from you right away. I can only accept the first 1,000 new subscribers to Automatic Fortunes today. And I'm sure you don't want to miss out. Which brings me to an important question. How much would you be willing to pay for the opportunity to access analysis on investment opportunities that could double, triple, or even quadruple your money month after month? Remember, Presidential Memorandum 02518 has the stunning potential to help send the 5G market on a 22,540% tear. And that's just one opportunity I have in store for you. So if I had to guess, I'd say you'd be willing to pay quite a bit. But here's the thing. I left the big banks. I'm not trying to just help the rich get richer. Now I want to help you and 999 other everyday Americans exceed your financial dreams. So I've decided to charge the bare minimum for Automatic Fortunes. A 12-month subscription normally costs only $199. The special report I've promised you today has a value of $199 by itself. Plus, you get full access to my monthly newsletter, weekly webinars, up-to-the-minute alerts, and more. So at that price, it's a steal. But I want to make this decision as easy as possible for you. I want you to have a real shot at making some real money here, so I don't want there to be any barriers that prevent you from profiting from my research, especially the price. That's why, if I hear from you right away, you'll get everything I've mentioned here today for the one-time low price of only $47. That's the price of a modest lunch for two these days. Still, I know we just met, and you don't really know me, so to eliminate any and all barriers that might prevent you from giving Automatic Fortunes to give me a try, I'm going to give you my 365-day, 100% no-risk, money-back guarantee. In short, you will have 1 full year to try all of my research. You'll have full access to my model portfolio, special reports, monthly briefings. And if you aren't 100% completely satisfied for any reason at all, simply give my customer service team a call and you'll receive a prompt full refund, even if you call on the very last day of your subscription. Plus, you can keep everything you receive from me along the way. It's my way of saying thanks. I can't think of anything more fair than that. Again, My mission for the foreseeable future is to help 1,000 Americans achieve complete financial independence. I hope you will be a part of this group. And I firmly believe that Presidential Memorandum 02518 is the catalyst that could get you on your way to achieving this level of wealth. But I'm not going to stop there. There are several other opportunities I've been researching that I'm excited to tell you about. I've put all the details in 2 additional reports that I'd like to send to you free of charge. Remember, the key to identifying the Amazons, Googles, and Apples of tomorrow is finding a company with a looming catalyst. I've already shown you how President Trump has a proven history of sparking profits of 223%, 320%, and 1,031%. Now I've locked onto another potential triple-digit opportunity that I uncovered in an obscure presidential document. It's 80 pages of policy released by the Trump administration, paving the way for another technology that's poised to go vertical. In this case, it's autonomous vehicles. And in a nutshell, he's pushing to ease the rollout of driverless cars and trucks. Las Vegas, Boston, Pittsburgh, Palo Alto, San Francisco, Scottsdale, Miami. You can already find these cars on public streets in any one of these cities, and those are only a few. Google's autonomous car project, Waymo, has a fleet of vehicles that have self-driven more than 10 million miles. Like any technology that solves a problem, the growth will be exponential. And this one will solve many, many problems. It's no wonder the White House supports it. Self-driving cars will automate the $8 trillion global logistics industry, cutting out the cost of human drivers and speeding up transport times. Drastically cut down on car accidents, since 94% of all accidents are from human error. Free up almost an hour of your day while you commute. Remember, this is one field I know very well. I've been investing in electric cars for nearly a decade now, and I can say without a doubt that the ability to get from place to place cheaper and more efficiently will be one of the biggest technological changes of the 21st century, especially now that 5G is coming to life to help make it possible. And I found one company poised to benefit from this massive disruption of the $2 trillion automotive industry more than any other. It could double your money in the next year. Its list of customers already includes 25 of the largest auto manufacturers in the world. The easiest way to describe it would be auto parts supplier, but it's what this company supplies that makes it so attractive, because its technology platform can literally take an existing car model and transform it into an autonomous vehicle. But that's just for starters. This company has big plans to make autonomous vehicles a reality. President Trump wants this, and he wants it now. So I'd like to send you another free report ASAP. This one is called "The Driverless Car Race is Here. Grab over 100% gains now." This play is firing on all cylinders and set to take off any day. Just like this next potential triple-digit winner I've identified. I won't go into too many details here, and I realize your time is valuable, but I would like to get a report on this third special situation into your hands immediately. Also free when you accept this invitation, because much like everything we've discussed today, the world of finance is quickly evolving. I'm talking about the big stuff, like the way you invest, the way you bank, and the little stuff, including the way you buy movie tickets. Insiders refer to this revolution as fintech, short for financial technology. A recent Forbes piece said, the financial services sector is currently undergoing possibly the most profound transformation in history. So once again, we're talking about a massive, massive trend. And once again, it's Trump approved. His administration recently released a report encouraging the development of financial technology. And this one fast-moving company is the perfect way to play it for gains of 233% in the next 12 months. It operates in a market valued here in the US at $11.4 trillion. That's roughly 345,000% higher than the company's current revenue. That alone is appealing enough, but this company has its sights set on a much bigger prize because it has just started branching out overseas, tapping into an additional $55 trillion market. The potential here is truly extraordinary, as you can see, and getting better by the day, which is why I've put all the details in a special briefing called FinTech Fortunes, the company set to triple your money. You can have it, it's yours, free. I meant it when I said I want to help everyday Americans get significantly wealthier in the coming months. And I really hope that includes you. Simply accept my invitation to join Automatic Fortunes as a charter member today, and all 3 of these reports are yours free. To sum up, here's everything you get today when you give Automatic Fortunes a risk-free try. A 12-month subscription to Automatic Fortunes, weekly updates, urgent trade alerts, access to the members-only website, your 3 reports each valued at $199, the $5 stock leading the 5G revolution, the driverless car races here, grab over 100% gains now, FinTech Fortunes, the company set to triple your money, any additional special reports I publish in the next 12 months, and so much more. So please, make sure you are one of the 1,000 people who respond to this invitation today. As soon as I get your okay, I'll email your special reports and get you set up with your membership. Listen, there are a few certainties in this world. One thing you can count on though, technology will always move forward. And right now, it is set to have exponential growth. Only an elite few will be smart enough to seize the moment and reap enormous gains. So I hope this includes you. But again, you must act quickly. Presidential Memorandum 02518 is about to set off a firestorm of profits. So click the big orange button at the bottom of this screen. Thank you so much for listening to this important presentation.